Hi.
Uh,
Welcome to the I have never been more thankful to see Braun Strowman in my entire life Pinfall podcast show.
yeah, you know what? So am I. So am I. This was a messy episode.
This was a trademark Vince was definitely backstage tonight episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to get rid of my gum. I did not think about that. My unless that's something to. If it's not, well, you try to stop using your jewel every 5 minutes. Dicks.
What?
I don't know. I'm going through something. Kind of got a headache. But you know what I don't have, Mark?
Seth Rollins?
You got it. First fucking try. Look at you. If, like, I'm not joking. If Seth Rollins does not come back at Royal Rumble, I'm gonna have a breakdown. And it has nothing to do with, like, I think Seth should be back by now. It's just that we have been teased with him so many times.
He was also promised to be back at Rumble. Like, that was the whole thing. Like, he would be back at Rumble. And then it was, he would be back before Rumble. But now it seems Rumble is the time. Also, don't forget to stay tuned till the end of the show to get our predictions for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Yeah. I'm still excited. I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some stuff I'm not excited about going into it, but we can talk about that in a bit.
Like Drew and Oldberg.
Oh God, I don't even. Oh my God. Stop.
I'm not excited about Roman and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it's gonna be like really embarrassing when they have Kevin lose
Yeah.
after all this stuff.
Yeah. But now this is going to be like Roman actually beats Kevin Owens. Like on his own. I assume.
Ooh, I got yelled at. There's an
Alright.
angry cat.
By the way, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast.
I said that.
Oh, did
sort
you?
of.
Mm.
Yeah. Let me touch your paws. God dang it. Anyways, if the cat ends up pooping, we are going to an intermission.
Oh, we have the wheel. You want to spin the wheel?
Oh my god. Oh, you're breaking me, dude. You're breaking
wheel,
me.
wheel.
You see the sign moving? It's
Yeah.
not me. That's not Elizabeth. That is the tiny extension of Elizabeth. Alright, spin the fucking wheel.
Hold on. I gotta open up the Streamlabs dashboard because apparently that's the only way I can spin it. Where the fuck is it? Where is it? Widgets.
Can you do this?
Spin wheel.
Does your eyebrow move this much when you?
There we go. Okay. Wheels up. And do you want to spin first? Do you want me to spin first?
I want you to tell me, does your eyebrow go this like far when you pull on it? No, like I'm pulling out the skin above it.
I am too.
I feel like mine goes up really high. Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, spin the wheel.
But for who? Your spin or my spin?
Oh, I spin.
Okay.
Let me regret that.
Okay. Spinning the wheel. Maybe is it gonna spin? Streamlabs, you broken? Oh, there we go. Took a little bit. You have to wear a costume.
I don't own a costume.
It can be anything. There's a police hat in the closet. There's a mask in there too. We've got some
Is
stuff.
it easily accessible?
Yeah. Second shelf right over the clothes. Or I guess first shelf over
Okay.
the clothes. Right side.
Hang on, I just don't want to run over the cat's paws.
I'll spin the wheel for
Trying to
myself while
avoid
you
that.
go grab it.
All right, I can still hear you, so that's perfect.
Alright, so now we spin the wheel. Oh, I gotta get sprayed with water.
You say second shelf. Which second shelf are you talking about?
It's on the right side, literally right over the clothes. Kind of towards the back.
Oh, well, you said second shelf, I thought you meant, like, the shelves.
And then I said, maybe it's the first shelf. I don't know what you're getting.
Probably just right or left.
Are you getting the police hat or the mask?
Nothing.
What? Oh,
I didn't want to have it on while I was...
okay. Well, don't ruin the headphones.
Did I get you?
Yeah, you did.
Myself and everything. Wait, a sniper.
Oh, I'm wet now.
Sophie's here.
Alright. Alright. So, shall we start with the news? Oh, that's horrifying. I cannot wait for people to come into this not knowing what you're doing.
If you're wondering, it is a weird sex thing.
Oh, that's new to me.
Myself some bangs over this though. Damn. Or I am the newest member of the Jabberwockies.
I love how you chose to go with a mask that will be tough for you to talk in and will probably irritate you over a police hat.
No, see, here's the thing. The thing is that I know that we get to spin again after the news, so I did it for effect.
Oh, so you're wearing both pieces. Okay. Okay.
I was gonna get to wear this this past year, but
Alright, so
sadly.
news?
Yeah, let me make this font 18 point real quick.
Oh my god.
Waiting to be able to use the news. Okay. God, I don't even know where to start with this. Actually, I do. Let's start with the two smaller pieces of news, and then we'll go into slightly more in-depth pieces.
Okay.
All right. So, first piece of news is something I'm really excited about, which is WWE just signed Miko Satomura. Very thrilled about that.
Which you would know if you watched NXT UK.
Yeah, she's going to be wrestling, but she's basically coming on in a coaching sort of role, mostly.
But she's just on NXT UK, right?
Correct. As far as I know, for now.
One thing I heard is that she has her own promotion, so it would make sense for her to go to UK so that she can still... Don't try it. So that she can still manage that promotion while still being a part of NXT UK. This is really horrifying.
Bring the wheel back. It'll be fun. Oh, the cat's just looking at me.
Yeah, she doesn't like this. She thinks you're an intruder.
It's me. It's Mother. Oh, okay. Anyways, but in addition to that, we signed Tony Gill, Lucky Kid, and Bayley Matthews, aka the son of Willie Reeves.
Hey.
Which I did not know that Willie Reeves was A, ever with a person, and B, a father.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say that my lips fall about, like, here.
Really?
Like, my bottom lip is, like, here.
Why not try scooting it up a little bit? It looks like it can where your eyes are. It just went back down. There we go. You just gotta hold it up.
There we go. Alright. Also, something that I thought was interesting and probably very indicative of the women's Royal Rumble is Rhea was supposed to debut weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But she has not.
Of course.
So, kind of gives me, like, Roomblade vibes.
Yeah, she's 100% gonna debut at the Rumble. Like, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm excited for her. Sort of, I guess. It's fun to get to watch her wrestle well for a while, right?
Yeah.
And now it's just downhill.
No.
Okay. Also, BR Wrestling posted the video clip from the Royal Rumble where Nia Jax got in the men's match. They show like 5 seconds of Nia, like they show like the 5 seconds of Nia beating everybody up, and then they just like the caption is just super kick 619 RKO. So what all the guys did to her, I was like, all right. I don't think that was the most important part, but sure. Do you let me pet you? She'll still let me pet her.
What if Rhea debuts in the men's Rumble?
Dude, stop. I'll die. I will, like, legit have a panic attack and die. Alright, so I'm gonna go into a slightly bigger piece of news, but not the biggest piece that you're probably thinking of. Which is, so, apparently Vic Joseph has some words. I didn't think that a man as dweebish as himself could say things so strongly. But Vic Joseph said that fans who are complaining about the network changing over to Peacock are just lazy. And at first I was like, hey, that's kind of fucked up, Vic. I'm not lazy. I just like the WWE network. And then he basically said, he's like, it comes down to one word, laziness. I only say this because I've talked to my younger siblings. People are just too lazy to download something new, put in their credit card information, sit there and punch in the numbers. Eventually they'll do it. And then he said, what's the big deal? It's such a big waste of time. Now they have to do something different. You save $5. This goes back to laziness. Oh, it's only $5. And I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
at first I was like, fuck you, Vic. And then I read it all and I was like, oh, he's kind of got a point.
This is so sad watching you do all this in a mask. So sad.
I don't like it. Can you see that I'm smiling?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, because my eyes disappear. Does this fuck up my audio?
No, you still sound fine.
Fair enough.
Not amazing,
okay.
but fine.
Fair enough. Alright, so let's get into like the biggest piece, I guess. So as everyone knows, Undertaker decided that he wasn't happy being Undertaker. He wanted to also be generally hated by most people. You know, life choices. So after Undertaker said all that shit, and a bunch of like different stars kind of came out against what he said. Apparently, Devon Dudley said that he agrees with Undertaker and says that the guys in this generation are rude and disrespectful. And he said, like, yeah, we had, like, back in my day, we had attitude, but there's one thing I will say about my generation is that we respect those that came before us. Ironically, though, it's like he says, that's one of the problems that we have with a lot of the young talent, along with a host of other guys. And I'm just going to name them: Drew McIntyre, Rusev, and Sheamus. They always had respect for the older talent that came in and always wanted to pick our brains. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm sorry, Devon, no offense. You just ruined the entire Goldberg-Drew McIntyre story by saying that Drew McIntyre has a lot of respect for the older guys.
A lot of respect, a lot of respect.
I read that and I was like, oh, buddy. Oh, God. So in addition to that, Goldberg also said something, as everybody knows. Basically, he said on Corey Graves' After the Bell podcast. Sorry, it's like hard for me to breathe in this, by the way.
I figured it would be. That's why I'm surprised you picked it.
I didn't think. I preferred this. I look alluring.
It looks scary.
Also fun. But he said, basically, Goldberg said, when you hear the comments about me coming back and doing 1 or 2 matches a year, how people are like, he doesn't deserve it, he never paid his dues, he was never on the road, and these people are on the road. Hey man, people forget very quickly what all of us did back in the day to earn the spot we are in now, and I am one of the luckiest guys in the world. But yes, I believe comparatively the business is soft, but the business is in 2021, so things have to change and things have to be different. And then he said that because people are soft and take offense to things way too quickly, that they should get a little thicker skin, boys and girls. That's all I can say. And it's just like, you called them soft because they play video games and they don't try to kill each other.
And they don't do a ton of drugs backstage.
Yeah. And like, he said, it's disheartening, it really is, because it breaks up camaraderie of the guys and girls backstage. There's not much trust left. You can't confide in people without them trying to get likes and putting it on their social media. It's a ridiculous thing, it really is.
I haven't seen any of that from any wrestler's social media.
I was like, everybody's social media is basically 100% kayfabe all the time. Like, unless somebody dies, then it's people.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, the faces are the faces.
Right.
And the only time that somebody's name ever comes out of their mouth out of kayfabe is usually because, like, they're just telling a story. It's rare that you ever get, like, real heat on people.
Yeah.
And Mick Foley had his own comments about that. He basically said, today's professional wrestlers are every bit as tough as the wrestlers of my era. Just my opinion. And then Roman Reigns said, I'm fucking tired. Let me find that quote specifically, sorry.
I might be able to find it before you.
I found it, don't worry.
Okay.
I bookmark all my news stories. So, it's a really long quote. I'm not going to read it all. Basically, he says, the moral of it is that, like, he plays video games. He doesn't do it at work, but, like, he likes to wind down. He likes to be a normal person. And he also said, like, and for guys like the New Day who are uberly talented, they can get away with doing that kind of stuff at work. And he, like, you know, he said, like, some people have to, like, kind of knuckle down a little harder than they have been, but outside of that, there's nothing wrong with, like, what's happening in the locker room. But my favorite thing is the quote that he goes into this with is talking about Undertaker. It's strange. I really feel like he misspoke because Mark is a really good guy, which I don't believe in, but whatever. He's very knowledgeable. Obviously, he has a ton of respect for the business. Goldberg is just Goldberg. Who cares? And I said, you know what? If that has not been my mantra for like the last month. And he also says, but again about Undertaker, but he's talking about guns and knives in the locker room. Come on, you guys traveled just like we did. Did you really get that stuff through security? TSA was just letting everything happen back then.
He's got a point.
And I was like, Roman came out of nowhere. Because at first I thought like his comments were gonna be kind of like kayfabe, and then I read the whole thing and I was like, oh, okay. I just don't like.
Yep.
I just don't like Goldberg opening his fucking mouth.
Goldberg has a mouth?
No. It's just so frustrating because it's like, no, dude, you don't deserve that match. There's a million other younger, talented dudes that deserve the match that you have with Drew more than you could ever possibly imagine deserving it.
I think AJ deserves another shot.
AJ definitely does. If anybody should be taking the title off of him, it should be one of the career guys.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be some old fogey that's coming back. Because, like, yeah, people have a lot of respect for people. For example, like, oh, I don't know. People have a lot of respect for Mark Henry. And that's because Mark Henry doesn't come out of the fucking woodwork every once in a while and say, I want a title match.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Henry's like, well, I retired, and that's for the other guys now.
Yeah.
Also, all this shit coming from the man who fucking was saying, like, people bitch and moan about me hurting myself prior to getting into the ring and bleeding and gigging myself. Hey, man, I do that for y'all. They don't understand. I do that for them because I have to do something beyond human belief to get myself into the Goldberg zone. And that's him talking about making himself bleed. And it's like, but if the people don't understand, and you're doing it for the people, buddy, I got another thing coming for you.
He's got to go and just smash his head into a wall some more. Like,
I think he's got to stop. I think he's done it a couple too many times now.
If you're doing all that for a 2-minute match, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, champ. It ain't.
And he said, like, and if they think, here I am caring about what people say, but what could be the other reason for that happening other than me trying to get in that zone to provide them with the best character humanly possible? Goldberg, you don't have the best character humanly possible. You don't have a character. You're not a character. You're just kind of annoying. Goldberg coming back is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And it makes me mad on a semi-daily basis.
Understandable.
And maybe it's just because I'm, like, surrounded by, like, WWE news constantly.
Mm-hmm. But I believe, is that the last piece of news?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to spin the wheel again before moving into matches and promos? Also, you didn't put up the news sign. There's no point in putting up the news sign now. There's no point.
Mark, I was just trying to get into the best character humanly possible. I'm trying to get into the zinc zone.
Smack your head into the wall.
Oh, I'm bleeding under this mask. I did that.
Oh, good. Alright, now change it back to matches and promos.
Oh, I'll change it back after we spin.
Okay. So I'll spin first this time. And here we go. Fuck! Again! I have to do an accent!
I want you to do.
Please let it be something I can
I want you to
do.
do old-timey gangster.
No.
We suddenly get to have opinions on what we can and can't do.
I can't do that. I can't.
You're not gonna call me Sunny Boy? While snapping your fingers?
I can't do a good one or any. I can't even think of what it sounds like right now.
I just want everyone to know right now that Mark is the first one of the two of us to decline doing the first suggestion.
No, I'm just asking for you to pick another one.
I'm just saying. I thought it'd be me.
Give me another.
God.
Give me an accent that I can like actually do.
I'll let you do Southern.
Southern. All right.
Oh dear Lord, that's so weird. Oh.
All right. Now we spin your wheel.
At least I gave you an easy one where you're just here fucking saying, do the accent that Dennis Reynolds does for like 5 minutes in a TV show.
It's easy though. You have exactly what it says to help guide you. All right. Spin the wheel. Here's your spin. What'd you get? Who knows? Oh, you gotta be sprayed with water. Oh no. Here I come.
Oh, this is hell. Oh, that was so close to me. Ah,
I was really hoping people would just see me lean in and just spray you through the door. All creepy like.
how wide do you think this camera is? You can see the frame.
I don't know. You got mirrors.
You can see the frame.
Alright, shall we move into matches and promos?
We shall. I just want you to know, though, I have no clue where the halfway point of this evening was, so I would just say it'd be before the Daniel Bryan fight.
The halfway point is at about Sasha backstage with Reginald. Maybe even the promo after that.
I'd say it's the promo after that.
Shinsuke with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Alright. So, here we go. First we started off with Daniel Bryan. He was introducing the show and is getting people hyped for the Rumble, giving it all the stakes for it. Saying how he's super excited, and the one thing he hasn't done in his career is win a Rumble. I'm sorry, Mr. Daniel Bryan, I don't see you winning this Rumble, because, you know, your whole thing has been letting other wrestlers move up. But then AJ Styles comes out. The Southern boy. We don't want none. He comes out and gets in Daniel Bryan's face and is just like, oh, you ain't gonna win the Rumble. Yeehaw! And then Daniel Bryan challenges AJ Styles to a match later tonight that little did we know at this point that it would devolve into a horrible, horrible mess. After that, we have an interview with Bayley, where she says that Bianca is not going to win the Rumble. And that's basically it. She's just shit-talking Bianca. And then we have Bianca Belair versus Bayley.
Let me just say something here. This was a stellar fucking match.
It was.
Would love for Bianca Belair to deadlift me. She can even slam me face first in the ground if she wants to. I'm flexible. Mentally, not physically, actually. I'm very flexible. I used to be when I was young. I can still put my legs behind my head, though. So, one day I'm going to have German Shepherd hips, and they're just not going to work.
Do you want to start the match or no?
I just want to chit-chat.
Okay. Continue the chit-chat.
How was your day?
I
How are
don't
you doing
like
today?
chit-chat.
You sound like Ronald.
My mom used to say life is like a box
Oh.
of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Box of the chocolates have like the little like graphic on the back though that tell you what's what. Sometimes it comes in like a little slip in the middle. What are you gonna get your Valentine's Day date for Valentine's Day? Is it gonna be a box of chocolates? Because I think
Can
really
we
like
just
that.
start the goddamn match, please?
Yeah, I guess. So we start with Bayley versus Bianca. Bayley heads off the match by wrenching Bianca's arm. And Bianca says, "That doesn't affect me at all," and deadlifts Bayley and then slams her spine first into the mat. Me next. We then get a big suplex to Bayley. Bayley kicks Bianca's knee and then slams her backwards. There's a sliding clothesline to Belair. Bayley keeps targeting the arm of Belair that she was injuring in the first fucking place. Bayley then does a thing that, like I said, I don't know how I feel about that one. Where she takes Bianca's braid and just yanks it over and over. Like goes full Lacey Evans with Naomi. And I was like,
Like it's like a bail string, a bail rope. I guess it makes sense with the like Bianca's hair is her thing, and like Bayley is the whole ding dong. It makes sense more so than Lacey and Naomi.
Yeah, that was just weird.
Yeah.
And just like I would if somebody was pulling my fucking hair. Bianca loses her shit. Just fucking ground and pound. Clobbering Bayley. She dodges Bayley, sending her into the corner before doing a lovely little handspring with the arm that's supposed to be injured. It's fine.
Injured.
She did a pretty good job of selling it, but then she, like, a lot of her moves are very, like, gymnastic-y, and I was like, it doesn't work right now. In this very moment, it doesn't work. But Bayley then pulls Bianca's arm against the ropes. Doesn't quite phase Bianca. We get a drop kick and a standing moonsault. Bianca grabs Bayley and then drives her into the corner. We get an overhead, like, I don't know how else to say this, but like an overhead face slam, face buster. It wasn't really a face buster, but
I'm having trouble picturing the move you're talking about.
Basically, it was just Bianca lifted Bayley over her head and then dropped her backwards on her face.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Oliver Twist, is that you? Oh no, you shut the door! You shut the door!
Oh, did I?
You did. Oh, the poor kitty. Did you hear that?
No.
She was like a little trumpet. She was like, woo!
Aww.
Can I trust that you didn't just pee on the trumpet?
Well, I just realized it's just me on camera. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, and a quick reminder to stay tuned to the end of the show where you'll see our predictions for the Royal Rumble. And for those who don't know how our predictions work, we make a prediction on every match, who's going to win, and for every incorrect prediction, we need to finish one can of hard seltzer before the podcast is over. So we get 2 predictions wrong. We have to finish 2 cans of hard seltzer before the podcast is over. And then we decide a winner. The Pinfall Podcast Prediction Champion will be decided on who has the most correct predictions. And the winner, the champion, decides a punishment for the loser. Now, I believe, who's the reigning champ from TLC? I believe it's you, or is it me? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Sorry, I had to check on the cat because it smells horrible in this apartment right now.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't think anything's wrong, though.
All right.
Yeah. I followed the inciting incident happened in the back of her litter box. So I think we're good.
All right.
I'm gonna hope we're good.
All right.
Sorry. Jesus.
Yeah, you've been really lacking on the signs today. So,
I didn't want to go too far into the living room because it smelled horrible.
did we finish the match between Bianca and Bayley?
We did not. Let me finish that, and then I want to go do a quick reel check.
All right.
I just don't want the cat tracking poop along the apartment again.
Understandable.
Thought it was. Right. So Bianca begins spearing Bayley in the corner. There's a knee to the right jaw of Belair that definitely looks like it fucking connected, and I said, oh. Okay. We get a drop elbow off the ropes right into Bianca's back, which in my opinion looks like the worst fucking thing ever. Bianca like does some shit that I said probably was unnecessary and way too attractive for me, which is she bridged out of a fucking cover to a standing position.
Now, not only did she bridge, because a bridge requires hands to do so, she did it without hands, so she just leaned up. She had 0 hands to work with.
Like, her arms were around Bayley's waist, and
It required immense core strength that I've never seen before.
bitch has to be good at the limbo. I guarantee you she is. Anyways, we get a right hook to Bayley and then a one-handed toss to Bianca, who still lands on her feet. Bayley is then dropped into the buckle. We get a KOD and Bianca wins. And she's looking like a real favorite for the Rumble. That's for fucking sure.
She is.
All right, give me 1 second to just do a safety check in the apartment real quick.
All right. And while you do that, I'm gonna just talk to the chat real quick and just say that we are so happy to have the wheel back as part of our podcast routine. But as you can see, we only have 5 options on the wheel, and we would like to add as many options as we can. So if y'all have any options, any categories you can give us, tiles to go on the wheel, it can be anything, a punishment, a reward, anything, obviously within reason, we will add it to the wheel, and would be greatly appreciated. If you're watching on Twitch, we have a suggestion box down below that we would hope you would leave your suggestions for the wheel down there. Otherwise, if you're watching on YouTube, leave it in the comment section. Thank you. And I was hoping Liz will be back at this point. Oh, she is. Perfect timing.
The cat had a very successful poop, I believe. I'm
All
happy
right.
to report.
That's fantastic.
This has been our life for the last few days. In case anyone was wondering.
If you've watched my streams, you would know the problems we're dealing with.
I've never been more of a husk of a woman in my entire life, honestly.
Alright, so now that match is over, we move on to King Corbin versus Dominick Mysterio.
So Corbin walks out, having a good time. Got the King of the Ring symbol, or logo, again, for some reason.
They do it on and off. Whenever he has his real intro, he has it.
But as he's walking out, he gets attacked by Dominic, who, as anybody who watches SmackDown knows, Corbin wears black and gold. And Dom was wearing the same shade of black and gold. And I was like, what?
And not only that, Dominic's pants had a crown on them.
Yeah, but that seems to be like a new thing because Ray was wearing a shirt with the same symbol on it.
I mean, to be fair, Rey in Spanish means king.
That's what I was thinking.
But it is weird of the color coordination. I couldn't imagine Corbin before the show was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you and I had the same colors? And black and gold is my thing. I know you don't have a thing, so why don't you go black and gold with me? That'd be perfect. Alright, see you out there.
For a second, I thought, like, and for a very dumb second, that's because I've had a very long week. I kind of thought that Dom was, like, gonna turn on Ray? I don't know. Because Dom's still, like, looking for, like, a storyline that's his own.
I mean, there's the whole Rumble thing where Ray was like, yeah, we may have to turn on each other, but it's how the Rumble goes.
Yeah, and then I said, well, I'm going to ignore that. And then I let it manifest in my head constantly, and I was like, fuck. But anyways, so he's attacked by Dominic. Thus began a Corbin versus Dominic fight, where I really thought Dominic was going to win.
What?
Nothing. I get worried about her now. But we have Ray on commentary. Dominic sets off by punching Corbin. He kicks Corbin around as Corbin's leaning through the ropes, and then dives out onto Corbin. Corbs is not feeling very fast today. He kind of just strolls around the ring to yell at Ray for a little bit. The whole time Dominic's just standing, but nothing. And then Corbin says, I'm done. Let's cut the bullshit. We get 2 back-to-back belly-to-back suplexes. Ugh. There's a kick to the face of just a very displeased Corbin. Just full white man smile and everything. Just, I was like, is that my king? There's a missile dropkick to Corbin, and then he launches himself over the top rope from the apron onto Corbin. Then Dom attempts a Hurricane Rana that is definitely botched, and luckily Corbin sold it really well. But still, it was like a mess. Like Dominic didn't even stay tied to Corbin at any point during the move. Anywho. Then Dominic attempts a 619. It doesn't work. Corbin moves. Corbin goes to buckle bomb Dominic. But Dominic evades it and sends Corbin into it instead. Corbin then lifts Dominic up and drops him straight on his fucking head. In another botched move for sure. I don't know what he was going for. Whatever it was, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. Then Corbin is DDT'd by Dominic as Dominic reverses a move. Dominic goes to dive out onto Corbin, but Corbin ducks away from him. Ends up pulling Dominic down on the ropes. And then we get a fucking end of days. Just a fucking end of days. And that's it. That's the end of the days.
Hell yeah.
And then Ray attacks Corbin.
Hell no.
Like a little puss.
Alright, well, I'm going to step away for a second and run to the bathroom. Liz will cover for me in the meantime. So, don't go anywhere. I know your favorite person on the podcast is leaving for a second, but I think Liz can take great care of you.
I don't have quite the southern charm, but I'll try. I do have to say, I'm really looking forward to Royal Rumble. I know a lot of people are kind of annoyed about it because of Goldberg, which I don't blame anybody for. But right now, like, the field of stars that could possibly be in it for both the 30-man and 30-woman, the Rumble, there's very few that if they won, I'd be pissed off. I mean, especially for the women. I think the only person I'd be annoyed with is if Alexa Bliss fucking won, but that's... Mark doesn't agree with me on it. But it's fine. Whatever. I just don't enjoy the Twisted Bliss thing anymore. I was not Twisted Bliss, I guess that was the thing. But Dark Bliss just kind of throws me. Because, like, there's so many other people that could have done it so much spookier. And I just feel like I'm watching, like, a child that's kind of sexualized. I don't know. Maybe this is what Goldberg meant when he said people are too soft. I don't give a shit. I am soft. But there's very few women that I would be disappointed in winning. There's very few men as well. And I know some people are like, oh, Edge is just going to win. But frankly, I'm not going to cry about. Wouldn't mind if he won. In fact, I might be happy if he won. I probably would be happy if he won. I really like him. I'm so happy he's back. And he came back in the best possible fucking way.
Alright. Enough wasting everyone's time.
Where's the Southern Charm?
There ain't no such thing as Southern Charm.
Yeah, I guess not with you around.
Yeah, I know. Alright, so after that we have Big E and Sonya Deville backstage. Big E's trying to bribe Sonya into getting his number for the Rumble. I kind of love that even the wrestlers don't know their number, at least in kayfabe.
Do you think they know it in real life?
Yeah, I absolutely they know.
Oh, well, I guess they have to.
Yeah, in order to rehearse it.
Obviously.
But Sonya pockets the $1 bill that Big E gives her, but doesn't say anything. And then The Miz and John Morrison come in and are asking about Adam Pearce. And Big E confronts them, and they're like, it would be a shame if something happened tonight during a match. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, no, guys, you're supposed to use the contract for the Universal or WWE Championships, not wasting on the Intercontinental Championship.
I didn't even like let that register in my head, honestly, as like a thing that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just like heard that comment and I was like, anyways. But like, if they don't use it by Rumble, dude, I'm out.
Yeah, Rumble will be the perfect time since you've got a last man standing match for the Universal Championship, and you've got Goldberg and Drew, where one person will pretty much be dead by the end of the match.
But I don't see them going after the Universal title, because wasn't the Universal title just like the response to the fact that they did the brand split and then the championship title was on the other brand and the other brand didn't have anything? I think it was like Raw didn't have any titles to like fight for. Really.
I mean, it's possible, but the Universal Championship in kayfabe is supposed to have the same amount of prestige as the WWE Championship.
Right? No. What I mean more so is, I don't see them going after the Universal title because that would just be recreating the problem.
I mean, yeah, but they could also do it to where if they get it, they would appear on SmackDown more. or they would appear on both promotion or both brands. I don't know. I'm just waiting to see somebody get the Universal and WWE Championship. Doubt that'll ever happen though.
Yeah. I don't know. The more I think, like, anytime the Money in the Bank briefcase comes up to me in, like, any of these shows, my brain immediately, like, just flatlines. I'm just so tired of it.
I have a strong feeling he's going to use it during the Rumble match.
Okay. I guess that's... Yeah.
Wait.
All right.
If he uses it during the Rumble match, that means that the Rumble match then becomes a title match. Because that's how it works. So the match you're in suddenly becomes a title match. That's how it works.
Yeah, but what are you saying?
That means that if the Rumble match became a title match, then the winner of the Rumble match will be the new champion, regardless of whether it's the Miz, the current champion, or anybody else. Whoever wins gets the title. We have a Roman Reigns 2017 situation, or 2019, whatever the fuck.
Okay. That's an interesting angle.
I think it would suck, but
yeah,
it's a way to do it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
But then after that, we have Sasha Banks backstage with a little appearance from Kalisto. For some reason, I guess he was
just cashing a paycheck.
He just floats around. He might as well just be a producer at this point with how little we see him.
It's so funny to me with Kalisto because it's like both times we've seen him so far, it has literally just been some like either Kalisto bumping into Kevin Owens being like, "Oh, I'm sorry," or Sasha just saying hi to Kalisto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if this is supposed to be a running joke that Kalisto's just around.
Kalisto is the hacker.
I just like the idea that like maybe dude just has like a fucking like stipulation in his contract where he needs to be used just so often, X amount of days. And so he's just like, "Hey guys," and we're like, "Fine, go, leave, take your check and leave."
Vince just kicking Kalisto in the ass on his way out. Just shooing him out.
Like, stay out.
But Reginald brings some wine to Sasha. But Sasha takes an opportunity to try and seduce Reginald. Not the kind of seduction that we were worried about where she would try and like actually sleep with Reginald. It very much seems like the seduction with an ulterior motive. And she wants to use Reginald to get to Carmella. Probably the best utilization of Reginald so far. Rather than just being a sommelier with some flip moves.
I just want to say something. And it's me reiterating a point that I've seen thrown around on Tumblr several times now. Which is Sasha did a better job of doing a Carmella promo basically than Carmella has ever done. Because Sasha basically took the role of Carmella, made it her own, made me say, "Damn, that's one hot bitch." And the entire time, if Carmella were doing that shit, I'd be like, can this end?
Although, I'm not vibing with Sasha's hair right now.
I like it. I really like it. I think, and I've heard this a lot too, is that people are saying that like when it goes all black, that's when she's going to have a full heel turn. I was like, to be fair, she's not entirely a face right now.
I mean, she just came out of a heel story. I don't think they would be so quick to bring her heel again.
But I feel like she has like a lot of ability to go like mega heel. And I'm down for it. I'm ready.
There's like no face women, singles women on SmackDown. Sasha was the only one. You have Carmella, who's a heel.
Yeah.
Bayley, who's a heel. Bianca's a face. She's won. Natty's pretty much a heel. Tamina's kind of a heel. Riot Squad aren't singles. That's it.
I just... but the thing is that you're thinking of this as in like Sasha turns heel, nothing else has changed on SmackDown. Which, to be fair, in the women's division is a fair assumption. But I'm going at this from an assumption that something else is going to happen. For somebody.
We also know that if Rhea gets brought to SmackDown, they will make her a heel. Because Vince only sees scary-looking women as bad, mean, etc.
So, brunettes.
Well, Rhea's a blonde right now.
True. Well, she's more of a dirty blonde. She went kind of brown. She's been letting it... I think if I remember correctly, I think she's been letting more of brown come back in. I think. I could be so wrong. Already forgot what she looks like.
She's blonde. I'll double check, but I'm 99% sure she's still 100% blonde. She's letting her roots grow in a bit. But to be fair, we haven't seen her.
Said you can't take them out.
Right, we haven't seen her on TV in a while, so it's hard to say.
That's fair.
But that is the halfway point of SmackDown's show, so now we must spin the wheel.
Christ.
This is your spin. Here we go. What are you gonna get? Wear a costume again. You got a cowboy hat behind you.
I do! Oh, rats!
It's been in the frame this whole time.
Well, it's more of a decoration, Mark. It's a period piece.
It's the worst decoration.
I do not be mean. This is my father's. How do you know what's the front and what's the back?
You just gotta, rock it. The front is whatever you want it to be.
My dad, if my dad were watching this, my dad would be like, I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
The back is the friends we made along the way. Your left hand is the front. Your left hand is the front. Whatever. I'm sure it's backwards, but...
Well, I went at it from like a front, like I faced it. And I looked at it and I said, this seems better.
Sure, that looks fine. Alright, now my turn to spin the wheel.
The further we go into this with your opinion doesn't count, the more stressed I get.
Gotta get sprayed with fucking water again.
The wheel's broken, dude.
Alright, come in here and fucking spray me with water, I guess.
Sure.
Wheel just wants me to get fucking wet. Howdy, partner.
Can you lean forward for me?
Okay, that was point blank. Oh my god, that is cold.
Love you.
Ah, point blank shot to the back of the neck when it's like freezing in this apartment. Ugh.
I wanted it to be something you wouldn't forget.
That is the worst thing you could have done. So no,
I know, that's why I did it.
do we spin it again before we get to best of the night, or is that the last spin of the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before best of the night.
Okay, so I'll leave it up. But now we have Shinsuke Nakamura backstage with Sami Zayn. And Sami's trying to coax Shinsuke back to being on his side. And he says Shinsuke needs to pay him back for all the good that Sami's done for him. And that Shinsuke has only had a successful moments because of Sami. Which Sami was around for them. Wouldn't say it was all because of Sami, but, you know, it is what it is. And then we move on to the Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens face-off, which is a lot of shit-talking. It's a Zoom call. And Kevin gets all heated up when Roman starts to bring up Kevin's father. Shows him the tattoos and everything, and gets very heated. And then Roman Reigns leaves the call by clicking a remote, like a television remote.
To be fair, it is so awkward leaving Zoom calls because, like, when you click leave, it brings up another option to say leave meeting, and I'm like, what else would I be leaving?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's always like the awkward five seconds of like me staring at my boss staring at me while we both like try to click the button. Very typical.
But that's that fucking promo. And then we have 3 matches back to back. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles to start it off. Liz.
I don't want to talk about these. I took worse and worse notes progressively through this entire thing.
These matches were basically just Royal Rumble hype matches. Did you feel hyped for the Rumble?
No, I've been feeling hyped for the Rumble, so I didn't need more hype.
You didn't need what started as a singles match turned into a 6-man tag match, then became an 8-man tag or 10-man. No, 9-man. Well, it was supposed to be 10, but then Sheamus came in at the end, and then Braun Strowman came in after that. So 11-man tag match. Fuck.
Right, but technically it was a 10-man tag match plus 1 man because Braun doesn't play sides.
Neither does Sheamus, technically.
Well, Sheamus played a fucking side today.
None of this made sense. They should have just done a mini Rumble. Sean Ross Sapp said it right. They should have just done a mini Rumble.
Because the thing is, it's like, half the thrill of the Rumble is new people coming back, which we technically did get with Braun. However, it is not me watching a match with the same guys that we use over and 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 over again.
To be fair, we haven't seen Otis in a little bit. We don't see him very often.
We haven't seen him since the last time that he and Chad and Daniel Bryan teamed up together. You're right. I guess. Anyways, wasn't Otis part of the gauntlet?
No.
No. Whatever. Shows how much I fucking cared. So we start with a headlock on Daniel Bryan and a gut stabber to Daniel Bryan. Daniel gets the armbar locked in on AJ, but AJ manages to reach the ropes. AJ is then whipped into the corner. There's a drop toe takedown to AJ and a hard soccer style kick to AJ's elbow. We get a knee to the chest of AJ and a brainbuster. Sami then comes out. And mind you, Cesaro has been sitting at the announce desk this whole time. Not just chilling, but talking and saying nice things about Shinsuke.
A lot of respect.
Just saying how much he respects him. Sami comes out. Sami's got his signs. Sami's got some new signs as well. Daniel Bryan looks like he's gonna go speak to him and like starts climbing over the rope. And then AJ says, that's a stupid fucking thing to do, and then pushes him. And I said, yeah, you're right. That was a stupid fucking thing to do. You're not wrong. Then AJ whips Daniel Bryan into the stairs. It looked like it was the most painful fucking thing in the world. We get a forearm takedown to AJ. Cesaro's talking in French to Sami. All I heard was s'il vous plaît, and I said, that doesn't make sense in any of the contexts of any of the conversations you have been having. But
It was probably something like, get away from me, please.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Fair enough. We get a Hurricane Rana off the ropes to AJ and a Dragon Leg sweep to Daniel. There's an enziguri to Daniel Bryan in the corner, and then a kick upside the fucking hamstring. Daniel Bryan lifts AJ over to the apron. There's a right hook to Bryan, and then Daniel dodges the phenomenal forearms. We get a butterfly suplex to AJ and a label lock. And then it all falls apart. Because then Big E comes out, and I said, oh no, smells like a tag team. But how is that going to work? Because Sammy's a heel, and Big E's a face. Oh, no, actually, at the time, I thought it was going to work. Never mind. At this moment, I thought it was still going to work.
Because you had Sami, you had Big E, AJ, you had Daniel, and you had Cesaro. AJ...
See, Cesaro wasn't really factoring in at that point.
Oh, AJ, you shouldn't have factored in at all.
I just figured that he was already there. He was in his gear. I should have seen that Cesaro wasn't wearing pants, and then it should have clicked for me, but anyways. Sometimes a girl can just have dreams.
Of Cesaro not wearing pants?
Maybe. Anyways. So Big E comes out. He's yelling at Sami. He clotheslines Sami. Then it all fucking kicks off, man. All fucking kicks off. And then Cesaro got involved, and I said, okay, now I really don't understand, because we got 2 faces and 3 heels. Later on, I learned that doesn't fucking matter. But anyways, Sami attacks Daniel Bryan in the ring. It's a DQ. And then Shinsuke comes out. And I said, oh, no. Oh no. Because at that point, Cesaro's involved. We've got Cesaro, Sami, and AJ. 2 men on the face side. And Shinsuke would make it like a really unfair fight. And then Cesaro and Shinsuke almost punched each other, like they had a real bar moment. And I said, oh no. Because then we cut to commercial, and when we come back, it's Shinsuke and Cesaro in the ring. And I said, you can't let me have anything in this fucking hellhole, can you, Vince?
It's like, Vince doesn't want people to have single runs without breaking up tag teams. He doesn't realize that you can be in a tag team and still have a singles run. Biggie, or, wow, Kofi.
And I mean, the thing for me is, it's like, I also don't understand, because like, I knew Shinsuke was having a face turn. Okay, fine. I don't get the idea that like you can't have a tag team with 1 heel and 1 face. I don't get that. Like, yeah, I kind of understand that the whole gist of everything is like heels and faces go against each other. But for how Shinsuke and Cesaro have been working lately, which is separately, it kind of, like, it would have been fine.
It doesn't make sense why they would keep Cesaro as a heel, because, like, what's his fucking motivation right now? Like, why is he remaining a heel? There's no reason.
And in addition to that, it's like, I don't know, you said that, like, they did it well for, like, the split up, but I don't think they did. I don't know if your opinion has changed on that since, but...
All I said was they did it better than the New Day, because that was, like, literally the hand of God coming in and saying, no.
But that was different. That was different because technically the New Day broke up, but they're still all faces. They're still all they're still together in a sense. the thing that doesn't make sense here is that usually when a tag team breaks up because one's a heel and one's a face, i.e. Bayley and Sasha, is a long, convoluted de-evolution of the tag team. We did not get that once. The last time we saw them as a tag team, they were working in perfect sync. Last time Cesaro was fucking talking about Shinsuke, mind you, 3 minutes before this actually happened, he was saying how much he respects the dude.
But
and now you're punching him?
Sammy's the catalyst. Sami swayed Shinsuke toward the face side and swayed Cesaro towards the heel side. And now he's kind of like dividing them up unintentionally. But I can almost guarantee next week we'll have a promo between the two of them, like kind of like, so what happened last week? Do we want to talk about it?
I don't know, because like I don't know if they're gonna like do the same, like, even though they aren't a tag team, but like the same Drew. Jesus, this is suctioning my head. The same Drew and like Sheamus thing where they're like, oh well, we're just Europeans and we just punch each other and then we're fine. I don't know.
No, I don't think it'll be the same thing because Shinsuke's never been like that. I think it's just gonna be like Shinsuke trying to convince Cesaro to go with him, or Cesaro seeing that Sami is toxic for him and moves with Shinsuke. Or Sami convinces Cesaro to move away from Shinsuke.
I mean, I'm not gonna, like, I guess I won't be sad if this brings Cesaro back to Sami. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it will.
It's either it brings him to Sami or it brings him to Shinsuke. It's one or the other.
I don't know.
But anyway,
I don't know, man.
we have more to get through.
Right, so let's start our, what is it? Was this the 9-man tag?
This is no. Did we get through the 6-man?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. So yeah, we got Cesaro and Shinsuke in the ring now. It's just the most painful fucking experience of my entire life. Just kidding. It might not be as painful as my 21st birthday hangover, but besides that, this was with less puking. So we start with the European uppercut to Shinsuke because Vince McMahon wants me to fucking sob. And then we get a kick upside the head to Cesaro. I'm going to be real honest with everybody who is watching this right now. I took horrible notes for this because this was a useless piece of shit match. And I'm going to be very clear about that. We get Big E in. Cesaro begins uppercutting Big E. We get Sami in. Just some jabs to Big E, high elbow to Zayn, Daniel Bryan's in. Uppercut to Sami, rocks Sami down to his fucking knees. Big E gets back in. Then we get a team underhook to Sami. Daniel Bryan gets back in and a drop kick to Sami's arm. Then we get a kick to the face of Daniel Bryan. Sami takes the knee of Daniel Bryan down and out. God fucking bless. Okay. My God, there's so many notes, and it's not good.
I thought you didn't take that many.
It's so many notes because it's just people tagging in and out.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, AJ gets back in. He's slamming Daniel Bryan's leg into the post. Cesaro, we go to commercial at that point, I think. Cesaro begins by swinging Daniel Bryan down into a half crab. Was actually a really fucking cool move. I'm not going to deny that. Do not deny my little cyborg of that one perk. Once again, Cesaro, though, looking the best of anybody in this fucking match, bar none, compared to everybody in this fucking match. From, like, the beginning of Cesaro's time in the match to the end. Anyhow. So, AJ comes in, he falls on Daniel Bryan's leg, goes down on it second time, shin first. Sami gets back in. He's riling up Big E on the apron before returning to Daniel Bryan, slamming Daniel Bryan's head into the buckle. Sami gets Daniel Bryan up on the buckles and goes for a superplex, but Daniel Bryan makes space and headbutts Sami down. We get a missile dropkick to Sami, but Daniel Bryan's little leggies are fucking hurting the poor old man. Cesaro and Big E are in at that point. Big E throws Cesaro. He throws an intruding AJ. There's a belly-to-belly to Cesaro. Cesaro then fucking... In spite of my anger, Cesaro with the fucking corkscrew uppercut.
That was nice. That was nice.
Not only was that fucking scary, because if I saw that shit coming to me, I'd die. I just will myself to die in the instant. I wouldn't be able to.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking incredible move, incredible precision. We then get a back body drop to Cesaro, but he lands on his feet and runs right into a Uranagi. At this point, The Miz and Morrison come in. It's The Miz versus Daniel Bryan. At this point, this is a 9-man tag match. I don't know what happened here. We get Sami in at one point. There's a blue thunder bomb to Daniel. Cesaro gets in. There's a vertical suplex to Cesaro from Daniel Bryan, I guess. Morrison gets in. Miz gets in. They're kicking Daniel Bryan. AJ gets in. We get a Puma tackle. And then this whole time we're wondering, who's the fifth face? And Sheamus said, I'm not a fucking face, but I am annoying.
And I want to beat the shit out of everyone.
Sheamus said, teamwork or no teamwork, I want to kill The Miz and Morrison, so I'm here. And I'm sure there's probably still some leftover vitriol towards, what's his face? AJ. God. So at this point, Sheamus is in. You get a pump knee strike to Miz, a headbutt to Morrison, 10 beats of the bottom to Morrison, an Irish Curse backbreaker to Sami, and a clover leaf. At this point, we get a haluva kick.
A what kick?
A haluva kick?
Helluva.
Haluva. But it's met with a brogue kick right to Sami's fucking skull. So hope we see him again one day.
Sami's gonna be out for the count.
Sami is he's knocked out now. He's gonna be knocked out probably after the Royal Rumble too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, by the grace of God, all of a sudden I hear Braun's fucking walk out and I said, okay.
Wait, didn't someone get the pin before that happened?
I don't think so. The last one I have is that The Miz, Morrison, AJ Styles all got in and just kind of like attacked.
I know Sheamus got the pin on Sami after that brogue kick.
I don't know. All I know is literally just that Braun came back. That's all I've got.
Yep. Now, do we normally do the predictions before or after the bests of the night? After, right?
After.
Okay.
Yes, after.
All right. So, let's spin the wheel before we do the update on the Mark Cameron Power Rankings top 10. And then we get into bests of the night.
So, Mark, you know how much of a bitch that cowboy hat is because it doesn't stay on the hook?
Uh-huh.
I lost feeling in my fucking head. I can, like, feel it coming back.
Well, let's hope you don't wear a costume again.
My boss saw it and he's like, has that always been there? And I was like, for a literal 2 years, yeah. Yeah. Shockingly.
All right, so
Background of every fucking call.
I'm going to start us off with the wheel.
Look at this.
Oh, I see that. Oof. All right, let's spin the wheel in 3, 2, 1. Yes, safe. Ho.
I know exactly where this is going.
And now it is your spin.
Let's have it.
Well, you have to do an accent.
Okay.
All right, so please do for me your best French accent. There we go, perfect. But now that we got our last spin out of the way, let's just give a quick update on the top 10 of the Mark Cameron Power Rankings.
Ooh la la.
For this past week. Yes, thank you. This spans from 205 Live all the way to Smackdown of the following week. So, we start off with number 10, the current NXT UK champion, Walter. Number 9, one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Dogs, Robert Roode. Number 8, the most unfortunate member of this list, the current NXT UK Cruiserweight Champion, Jordan Devlin. Yep. Number 7, we saw... What? What?
Merde.
Okay. I didn't ask you to speak French. I just the accent. Number 7, member of the Alpha Academy, Mr. Otis. Number 6, the current United States champion and CFO of the Hurt Business, or CEO of the Hurt Business, Robert Bobby Lashley. Number 5, one half of Lucha House Party, also seen on NXT, Lindsay Dorado. Number 4, former general manager of SmackDown. There's not much else to say about him besides that he talked a lot today. Daniel Bryan. Number 3, the current WWE champion before Goldberg rips his eyes out, Drew McIntyre. Number 2, the current Intercontinental champion and former member of the New Day, but still a member of the New Day's hearts, Big E. And last but not least, the current NXT champion, former Universal champion, and all-around perfect body in the world, ideal male form, Finn Balor. And that's the top 10 of this past week of the Mark Cameron Power Rankings. Anyway, now let's move on to our bests of the night. So we start off with promo of the night. I think I'm confident in all of my picks today. We start off with Daniel Bryan starting off the show. This was actually great. I liked everything about this promo. You had Daniel Bryan really like giving his whole heart into this speech. And then AJ making a surprise appearance. That didn't necessarily click with me when it first happened. But it was a great interaction between the two, especially after a while of AJ not being on the brand anymore. Everything about this was great. The Bayley interview, it was generic. Biggie and Sonya. Biggie trying to bribe Sonya. This was funny. It was good. It's pretty good. Sasha backstage. At first I was like very cringed. I was cringing a lot with this. With the promo with Reginald. But then I started to realize like what Sasha's doing, and it made it a little better, but still Then we had the promo with Shinsuke backstage with Sami. This was pretty good. I mean, we saw a lot of we saw the gears turning in Shinsuke, and we kind of got to see more of him and his like inner thoughts, as well as he finally gets Sami interacting with Shinsuke again after a while. But besides that, it is nothing super substantial about it. And then we get the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns face-off. This bored me to tears. I was so bored during this. There was nothing special about this. You had Kevin Owens talking about his father. That was probably, when he got heated, that was like the best part of it. But I think what made it worse for me was just that I've heard him talk about this before, because he made a whole Twitter video about his tattoos on his hands and his father. I think it was in response to Roman or Paul. So it's already out there what he said, and I guess that kind of ruined it for me, the fact that I already knew about it.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to do this one next. The problem. No, that's bad.
Oh, I forgot you had to do a French accent.
The problem with this is that Kevin has so much energy, and Roman is fucking it none. It's too one-sided.
It is. Sometimes it comes off as a good contrast when you have Jay with him too, because Jay can convey that energy opposing Kevin Owens, while Roman is there to kind of just be the statue. But nobody's there to really translate Roman's thoughts.
Not even Paul.
What was that?
Not even Paul.
Right. Paul didn't say anything at all. I mean, wasn't he in the background or something for this whole thing? I feel like he said like one word and that's it. I don't know. I thought I remember seeing him, but yeah. The energy was kind of off, but it was nice to see a heated Kevin Owens again, which I'm sure we'll see a lot more of. But my pick for promo of the night, it's Daniel Bryan starting the show.
I didn't like many of them, so I have to agree.
I think it was just great getting a very genuine Daniel Bryan that seemed very motivated.
Oui.
Alright, so Wrestler of the Night now. There's actually a lot to choose from today, which is nice, given that today was very scrambled. We started off with Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Bianca just fucking rocked this whole match. She was great. Bayley was good too. I was actually surprised by how well Bayley turned up. But Bianca was just 100% there and knocked it out of the park in this match. Both, yeah.
I was just going to say, she scares me, but anytime she does something well, I get so proud of her. I just want to see Bianca succeed. That is all.
She will. She will. She's going to get that SmackDown Women's Championship, and yeah.
I need to know.
But moving on from that, we had Corbin versus Dominick Mysterio. I went with Dominic in this one because I didn't notice that botch that you mentioned while we were watching it. I thought it was just Corbin stopping him from doing a Hurricane Rana. like holding him in place and outstronging him, I guess.
No, because Corbin was thrown by it.
Oh, I must be thinking of something else then. I don't know. I didn't really like either today. Corbin had some good moments. Dominick had some good moments, but all around, I don't think they were anywhere near the highlight of today's show. Then we had Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. This is where I stopped keeping track of best of the night, I think. I picked Daniel Bryan for this one. It was hard to kind of focus on the match itself because the focus was kind of on Cesaro and his opinion on Shinsuke. But Daniel Bryan, I think, really turned up in this match, along with AJ. Both of them looked great. But again, the focus wasn't all there for me to really acknowledge if they were doing really well or not. And then we had Big E, Daniel Bryan, and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles. I picked Cesaro. Cesaro looked fantastic in this match. He always looks fantastic. I mean, who are we kidding? There hasn't been a week where Cesaro hasn't looked great. Whether it's for an important match or not important, he always turns up. And what was that move called? The spinning underhook or spinning uppercut or whatever? Corkscrew uppercut. That looked so awesome, and he brings so much power to every match, but also carries around a lot of energy with him no matter what. And I'll pick him for the next match too, the 10-man, because I didn't pick anyone for it, and I still think Cesaro would have been the best out of all of them. But as far as my pick for the best wrestler of the night, it has to go to none other than Bianca Belair.
I agree. I love her.
This is also the first week that we haven't picked Cesaro as wrestler of the night on Smackdown.
Wow.
Of 2021. That's also important to mention. Alright. So match of the night. We started off with Bayley versus Bianca Belair. This was a great match all around. They somehow turned the hair thing into something that actually wasn't horrible. After the obstacle course, I was kind of tired of this feud already. I didn't like it. I didn't like the writing. But then they brought us this match, and I've been turned around. With it being pitched as Bianca's biggest challenge of her career, and this being her biggest win of her career, I think it puts it in a whole different perspective and gives us more stakes with the match. And every move, everything that happened turned out fantastic. And then we have King Corbin versus Dominick Mysterio. This match was okay. It wasn't bad. I can't honestly say that it was bad, but I'm just so tired of the storyline and it going nowhere. There's nothing good about this. Moving on, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. This match was hard to focus, again, because of the focus being shifted on Cesaro, but what we did see of the match was great. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles are fantastic wrestlers, and seeing them in this matchup, which kind of felt like a throwback, was great. It was pretty great. But then it led into chaos, especially with it ending with a DQ, which kind of made no sense. I'm just going to breeze right through these next matches. 6-man, it was okay. Ended in a DQ, so kind of sucked. 10-man, kind of sucked. I'll be honest. Even Sheamus showing up kind of was bad. I know this was just a hype up for the Rumble. It still sucked. I don't feel more hyped because of it. It would have been hyped if they did like a mini Rumble
I was just going to say that I think they did this just so that they could have they could lay the groundwork for after the Rumble.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it next Friday.
Right. Like, this very much seemed like a pre-show match. Like, just throw a bunch of people in the big tag match just so they can take care of a bunch of storylines at once.
Yeah.
Except AJ being there made no sense. Like, he had zero stake in the tag team. Why did he stick around? Omos was also gone. He dipped at one point.
Well, Omos was not allowed to come to the ring.
Wasn't he there for the singles match?
No.
Oh, okay. Also, did we mention Omos has like a big gash on his head?
No, we did not. But he conked himself pretty fucking hard.
I hope it's just him conking himself on the side and not like, oh, he was in a car crash. I hope it was just him conking himself on the head on a sign and not he was in a car crash.
To break my poor attempt at an accent real quick, you cut out, so it sounded like a pause, and then I saw you looking down and I heard, oh, he was in a car crash.
Oh, no.
I was like, okay.
But if I had to pick a match of the night, I don't think I'd feel good giving it to any match other than Bianca versus Bayley.
I agree. I think that the match stood for more than any of the other matches, and on top of that, it stood for a lot for Bianca's career as well. And so I can't imagine picking another match of any of the shite. That's not what they say. They don't say shite. That's shite. British. Listen, I've had a lot to drink.
Shitty.
But any of the shitty?
Shitty. Any of the other shitty matches.
There we go. Any of the other shitty matches.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. So to run it back, our promo of the night, Daniel Bryan kicking things off. Wrestler of the night, Bianca Belair, and match of the night, Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Now, it's that time of the month where we give our predictions.
For me as well.
What?
Well, you said it's that time of the month.
Yeah, I understood what you said.
Well, then why'd you say what?
It was more of a, I can't believe you said that. What?
I just want to be really open with everybody.
Anyway, so our predictions for the Royal Rumble, and for those who are unsure of how our predictions work and you weren't here the first time I explained it, so we make predictions on every match that happens, every match that is booked on the card. If another match comes up in the meantime, we'll do a last second prediction, ideally, or we'll skip it in total. But for every... For fair
points, by the way, I'm dropping the accent. I did it for the amount of time I was supposed to.
Okay.
Second of all, 9 times out of 10 we normally do predictions for any match that crops up, unless it is a battle royale. Then I will not even take notes. I will mention who won. Although
this whole pay-per-view is a battle royale, so we will be doing predictions for the Rumble matches.
Oh yeah, no. I only don't take predictions for surprise battle royales.
But for every incorrect prediction that we get, so say we have Bobby Lashley versus Riddle. If I picked Riddle, he lost then I have to finish a can of seltzer before the podcast is over. And the more matches I get wrong, the more cans that stack up. So if I get 3 predictions wrong, I have to finish 3 cans before the end of the podcast.
We are, however, doing things a little differently for the Rumble itself, because there's literally no way for us to have a good vibe on who could possibly win.
Right.
So the way I see it working, and you can disagree with me if you want, if one of us is right, I would say, I don't know how to put it as far as like betting cans, because
I think if none of our 5 predictions are right for Rumble, we just do 1 can. 1 match, 1 can.
Okay.
And that does kind of go into the fact that this is a 30-person Royal Rumble, so we have 5 predicted winners for each Rumble match. I have 5, Liz has 5.
A 30-person Rumble where we don't actually know all the participants either.
Right. And so a winner, the Pinfall Podcast Prediction Champion, is awarded to whoever has the most correct predictions. And if there is a tie, it then goes to the person with the least incorrect predictions.
Which, in my defense, will probably be me losing this year, because Mark and I agreed on far too many things, and I decided to take the short end of the stick on certain matches, and the one match that Mark took the short end of the stick on is not a match that's actually slated to happen this Sunday. So I'm a little bit SOL. I just wanted to make it interesting for people.
Now, whoever wins and is awarded the championship deals out a punishment for the other person. That punishment can be anything. All right, so let's start off with our predictions. The first match up is the Men's Royal Rumble.
The what?
The Men's Royal Rumble.
The fuck is that? Sorry, is this on TLC?
Are you your face looks like genuine, like you're actually confused? And that's how I feel like you feel like whenever I'm making a joke. Just deadpan.
Welcome to the Rumble Pit.
The Rumble Pit?
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it.
Okay. So, Men's Royal Rumble match. Right now, 17 wrestlers have been announced for this. Is there 13 still to be announced? Or it's vice versa. 13 announced, 17 to be announced. So, do you want to start with your picks, or do you want me to start?
Why don't you start with your picks for this one? I'll start women's.
Okay. So, my 5 are as follows. And how this works is any of these 5 can win, and we will have a correct prediction. So, I have Big E, Seth Rollins, The Fiend / Bray Wyatt, we're considering them one person, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
So, I, funny enough, have Edge, Roman, Shinsuke, AJ, and The Fiend. So, I get a good vibe on Edge right now. Apparently, according to Wrestle Talk, and just a disclaimer here, I saw this article well after Mark and I made these predictions. If anybody thinks I understand how betting odds work, I appreciate it, but you're wrong. I saw an article, I think, after around the halfway point of tonight, that said that Big E used to be the favorite, and now ever since Edge announced his entry, Edge shot to like one of the top. The one top person, and again, this is how you know I didn't fucking read this article because I would have done it. I would have backstabbed you so hard. Apparently, the favorite to win this year is Daniel Bryan.
You know, I watching the episode today, I wanted to go back and change one of my predictions to Ricochet.
Oh.
Because they're building up AJ to be this guardian of the Rumble on Raw, and
But Ricochet's not in it.
But they normally do a battle royale in the beginning to pick like a last second person to join the Rumble, and the way I could see it going is you have Drew Gulak challenge AJ to get into the Rumble. That establishes AJ as the Guardian. Then you have the person you actually want to beat AJ face him, lose, come back in the Battle Royale in the pre-show, win that, move on to the Rumble, face AJ at the Rumble, beat him, go on to win the Rumble. And Ricochet is a much higher profile person in the two between him and Drew Gulak, so it would make more sense for Ricochet to go on and win. But I didn't make that prediction because I didn't want to go back and change it.
Well, again, Daniel Bryan is the favorite. Edge is second right now, and Big E, I don't know where Big E falls, but Big E used to be one of the main favorites, and he has dropped down significantly since Edge announced. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
But do you want to move on to women's?
Yeah, because my second evening cold is coming on. I can feel my nose stuffed up.
Okay.
So for the women's, I'm feeling really good about my predictions here. I'm feeling like real good, real sexy on this one. I think I got 5 very strong winners. I've got Bianca. Really fucking vying for this one. I've got Sasha. Because then if we have Bianca winning, we could have Bianca versus Sasha. And I said,
if Sasha wins, it would be Sasha versus Charlotte Flair.
for what?
So I guess Sasha versus Asuka then.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're a title holder, you can choose who you fight, maybe.
But also, how they've normally been doing it is they have the title holders sit on the sidelines and watch the Rumble. That's what they did in 2018, and I don't know if they've changed it since then.
They must have, because Brock was in the Rumble.
But it's different between the men's and women's. For women's, they've
I don't care.
had them just sit on the sidelines.
Anyways, so I've got Bianca, Sasha, Rhea Ripley, Ronda. As much as I hate to fucking say it, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair. It's just because people have been saying a lot about Ronda Rousey coming back for the Rumble. I could be totally fucked on this one, actually, because Dave Meltzer said that as of this moment, Ronda and Becky Lynch are not booked to be on the show. Now, do I think WWE would be so flagrant to let one of their surprise entrants show up? No, I don't think so. Especially not somebody like Ronda, where her return has kind of been talked about a lot. So I'm still feeling comfortable with that. But Charlotte seems like if Charlotte wins, Charlotte can turn around and be like, "Hey, Asuka, fuck you." And you?
All right. So I'm very confident about my first one being right, and I'm actually confident about all of my picks. So
if your first one's right, I said while you were gone, I'm gonna have a conniption fit. I'm going to be so mad. How is this bitch getting so many opportunities when she barely fucking wrestles? She hasn't been wrestling in so long.
Wait, who? Ronda?
You don't have Ronda.
No. Who are you getting mad about?
Your first pick.
my first pick is Alexa Bliss.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm confident in it being her because she's been having a feud with Asuka and hasn't been able to have a championship match with a finish. And so they would want to have her win the Rumble, challenge Asuka at WrestleMania to have the actual finish, unless it's the title's transferred to Charlotte, in which case Charlotte would beat Alexa Bliss at Royal Rumble and at WrestleMania and become the ultimate face among the women's scene on Raw.
If Alexa Bliss wins, I'm straight up turning the TV off. I don't care. I'm gonna be so mad. With so many women in that ring that actually fucking deserve a shot, that have actually been putting the time in and aren't just getting through on a fucking storyline, I'm going to have a fit. I'm not shitting you.
So after that, I have Rhea Ripley, of course, Bianca Belair, of course, Charlotte Flair, of course, and Peyton Royce. Because I have a feeling that Vince will feel bad about not giving her the singles push that he promised her.
It's Peyton actually. There was an article that she was in just recently where she said like she still is like super upset that the Iconics broke up. She like has not like gotten over it whatsoever. And I was
Understandable.
Like, me either. I too am sad.
And yeah, so those are our picks for the Women's Royal Rumble match. Next up, we have Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match for the Universal Championship. You want me to start? Kind of alternating?
Sure, I think you can tell by my face what I fucking chose.
So I picked Roman Reigns, the smart choice.
And I said, a lot of our choices are going to be similar. Let's just hedge a bet here. And I said Kevin Owens. Mostly because I want to stir the fucking pot and I think it'd be interesting.
Okay. Next up we have Drew McIntyre versus Oldberg for the WWE Championship. And Liz, who did you pick?
Sadly, I picked Oldberg.
I did as well.
Sorry, Drew. I didn't want him to go like this either. None of us did.
I don't see a world where Goldberg gets pinned by Drew McIntyre.
Haven't lived in that world in a while. Were we even alive for that world, Mark?
No. Alright, so up next we have Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Now, I went with Asuka and Charlotte Flair to retain because I don't think that Vince is going to let them give up the title. I do think he wants them to give it up, but I don't think it's going to go to Nia and Shayna again.
So, I chose Nia and Shayna. And I did that for a reason. The reason very specifically being the road to WrestleMania is ramping up. And that means there's more room for cross-brand stuff, as we saw today. So in addition to that, the way I see it is going into WrestleMania, you want all of your ducks in a row. And when I say that, I mean you want your singles women to be singles women. You want your tag teams to be tag teams. I think that Charlotte and Asuka cutting that cord, giving the opportunity for a potential Charlotte and Asuka Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania is much bigger than having them still in a fucking tag team where they've kind of got to be like nice to each other. And just letting Nia and Shayna have the fucking titles, do whatever the fuck they want, because no one cares about the women's tag team titles. As much as it pains me to say that, no one cares about them. I I just feel like it's smarter.
But you're also forgetting that we have 2 pay-per-views prior to WrestleMania where
Fastlane doesn't count in my head, by the way. If that's what you're going for.
no, Asuka and Charlotte can lose it to Riot Squad at Elimination Chamber. And it makes sense because we've been seeing Asuka and Charlotte Flair on SmackDown a bunch. They've been making appearances on SmackDown, whereas we haven't seen Nia and Shayna on SmackDown at all. So there's no potential for that cross, for the title to cross the brands. And you have Stomping Grounds to start forming their singles.
Stomping. Whoa! What are you talking about?
Fastlane, not Stomping Grounds. Fastlane.
I don't know. I just, again, this was another one of those, like, a lot of our predictions are similar. I'm going to take the unbeaten path here.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, also, the thing is that it's like, if Roman retains, if the only title change is Drew to Goldberg, I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to be genuinely annoyed.
Yeah.
I know that's not what Royal Rumble is for, but if Roman retains and Asuka and Charlotte retain, I'm going to be pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
I need something else to happen. I need something else to fucking... I need some shit to get disturbed. And that's that.
The shit getting disturbed is Seth Rollins winning the Royal Rumble.
Well, so when I was sitting on the futon earlier, and I said, oh, and then I said, oh, never mind. That was because I saw an article that said, and in a headline that I have not seen yet, which was updates on Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey appearing at Royal Rumble. And I know Becky Lynch is literally 2 months postpartum at this point. No, I don't even think 2 months. 1 month postpartum. But my brain was just like, Becky Lynch at Royal Rumble! And then I had to, like, I still think Ronda's coming, but, like, I had to take myself a step back, and I was like, no, not really, though. I don't think that's the case, Elizabeth. Oh, no, when did she have her baby? She had her baby in, like, October. Right?
Oh, no, I think December.
No, her baby's a Sagittarius, I think, because they said, oh, that's Seth's polar sign.
Hold on. Seth and Becky baby. December, I believe.
Well, let's see. Personal life. December 4th. So, okay, she's like a month and a half, if not almost 2 months postpartum. I'm just saying, like... I'm just saying.
But we do have 2 matches that aren't on the card, but are predicted by CBS Sports to be happening. These could be surprise matches. They could be announced just before. So we made some predictions for them. Just, maybe they'll happen. Worst case scenario, they don't happen. So we have Big E versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Liz, who did you pick?
I know for a fact after tonight this is probably not happening, but I chose Big E.
I chose Big E as well. There's no way they're letting him lose the title like that. And then next we have Bobby Lashley versus Riddle for the United States Championship. This could very well happen because they had that whole gauntlet where Riddle won and now has the title opportunity with Bobby Lashley. So you would think it would be announced for Rumble.
Actually, now that you said that, I forgot about the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Mostly because Willie Reeves wasn't the one to say gauntlet, and my brain just didn't register any of it. If Willie Reeves is not announcing the gauntlet, if he's not standing at the top of the ramp screaming into a microphone, it's not a gauntlet. Sorry. Just a weird match with a bunch of men. I like to call that sexism. Anyways. So I chose Bobbert Lashley.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. This one,
you chose?
I chose Riddle. This one could go either way.
It could. It could. I don't really see Bobby getting rid of the title just yet. If he does, then maybe I will have some issues with the de-evolution of Hurt Business. Because if Bobby loses the title and then Shelton and Cedric fall apart, that totally destabilizes the entire stable. So I think that would be a little rash.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's the WWE, so like two people like share the same breathing space for 5 minutes, and Vince is like, they're enemies now. They've got to be enemies. I can't handle this. So.
Yeah, so those are our predictions for the Royal Rumble of 2021. Don't forget to tune in on Sunday for our post-show. You'll see us be drinking a lot.
Sunday.
And we'll maybe see a new Pinfall Podcast Prediction Champion.
And then, guess what happens? February 7th, it's the Super Bowl. We're not going to be there. We're not going to be around for that. But 2 weeks after Royal Rumble, if you're excited, which you probably should be, fuck! I hate the wheel! This is all the wheel's fault!
It is not the wheel's fault. It didn't do this last time on Wednesday.
This is what I get for trying to stop using so much nicotine. I'm falling apart, man.
So what's 2 weeks? What's 2 weeks from Royal Rumble?
NXT TakeOver.
NXT TakeOver. There we go. It'll be another prediction night. So look out for that. And Liz, would you like to close off the show?
When's our 1-year anniversary?
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I bet I can find out if I go on.
YouTube might not have our first
like
one.
It won't have our first one, but that's probably the one that matters. Just because I didn't take notes early on enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to do all. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to. Okay, so our first one was posted on June 5th. Okay, we got a while. Anyways, yeah, I'll close this out. Give me 1 second. Let me at least get like use out of my fucking signs. Oh, I heard that.
Nobody else did. Please don't bring it up.
I just want everyone to know that Mark and I have had a very long week, and if anything seems completely out of fucking whack, actually, no, you know what? Mark and I, much like a lot of other Americans, I think, have had a very long January. So if anything seems fucking out of whack about the show as of lately, that's why. We're doing our best. Anywho. So if you tuned in tonight, thank you so much. If you tuned in the future, thank you so much. I hope you have a Valentine. If you don't have a Valentine, I'll be your Valentine. Just ask me, like, or tell me what you want. Send you some chocolates or something. I don't know. Send you my cat.
I'm taken, so.
Yeah, Mark's taken and doesn't understand the idea of a platonic Valentine.
Never had one,
anyways.
Never will.
Mark, it's called a friend.
A what?
Yeah, I'll be your Valentine. To anyone who wants one. Mark, I'll be your Valentine too, if you want one. Here.
Liz, I'm taken.
Oh, sorry. Is it the cat?
No! That's disgusting!
I didn't imply anything! I don't know why you had to!
Alright, can we wrap up the show, please? Can we wrap up the show?
When I was really young, I used to go to, my sister and I would wear these like cute like little velvet dresses, and we'd go to like the local PAV lounge, and they had like a daddy-daughter Valentine's Day dance. So it was really cute. There's several really nice pictures, and I remember they had like these like little heart glitter confettis everywhere. I loved them. They were like 2 hearts intertwined. It was so sweet. Anyways, I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can remember that. I just love watching the life drain from you. So please tune in on Sunday. We'll still be here. And it'll be really fun. And I'm probably going to lose. That's fine. So yeah, please tune in on Suntag. And then, after that, tune in on Montag. Lundi.
For our Spanish viewers, tune in Domingo and then Lunes.
Yeah, please tune in. It'll be fun. And potentially more on track than tonight was.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe or follow button. I'm not going to be one of those streamers or YouTubers that just tells you what to do, but you know what to do. If you're watching on YouTube, you know what to do. And follow us on Twitter at Pinfall Podcast. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast, by the way. Follow our personal Twitters. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And follow my personal Twitch, twitch.tv/Mark Cameron. And last but not least, check out the Universal Pokemon Federation on YouTube. It's a one-of-a-kind combination of WWE and Pokemon. It is great. It is awesome. You won't want to miss it. Go check it out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on Sunday for the Royal Rumble! Have a great night.